Well, everyone, the day has come. We are here. I have stretched, I have lotioned, I've lit a candle, I have some wine. I am here to try Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I'm here for it. I'm ready. I'm buckled in, and I hope you are too. In case you've missed the trailers for this game or any of the discussions or reviews as it pertains to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, this has gotten rave reviews. Everybody's saying it is tremendous. It's an incredible step forward in this remake of a classic, and it seems to be a great and phenomenal follow-up to Final Fantasy VII Remake from 2020. But you know what? Let's just go for it. Go for it. Bonus eligible item eligible save data. Oh, this is interesting. So you can confirm if you have any of those from the demo, from the remake on PS4 or PS5, and then also from the intermission PS5 sort of DLC that they did. So if you have those things, you get all of those special abilities and bonus items, which is a nice little nod. I don't know about you guys, but I get like really excited when a game has cross save or I guess like previous save imports. I love it. Like the idea that you can carry progress from a game that released years ago and it just brings that progress forward. I freaking love it. I love it so much. In this case, I've only got the demo installed on this PS5, so I don't think it's going to give me the perk for the remake, even though I played that. So oh no, there. Okay, so no, it is there. Okay, well, either way, we're good. I will also say I have not played Final Fantasy VII Intermission, but I did watch a story recap. I just never really got around to it. I know, I'm a heathen, but we're gonna go for it anyways. Who the hell plays with inverted Y and X? What kind of sociopath does that? That's crazy to me. Sure, leave that on. Difficulty, normal, type of combat, active. Let's go for it. I'm excited. Voila. Let's just sit back.
I'm waiting, Cloud. I'm here on the Midgar Expressway.
Here we are.
The scene is indescribable. Countless buildings have been leveled, and part of the road has collapsed. The smoke rising from the rubble is reminiscent of a funeral pyre. Of course, this is only the most recent in a series of crises. Multiple reactor bombings, followed by the fall of the...
Can you imagine me if they hit him?
The fall of the Sector 7 plate, culminating in this unprecedented destruction, caused by a massive tornado which swept through Sectors 0, 1, and 2. After a briefing with Shinra investigators, Mayor Domino released a statement.
That's more than a tornado.
Weather warfare, perpetrated by the infamous insurgent group known as AVALANCHE. The administration also suspects the involvement of Wutai, and has begun investigations into the matter.
Love it. This is what I love about this so far, is it's just so epic. You know? It's unapologetically huge and crazy, and I love that. Shinra Electric Power Company. Now, granted, this is not running in real time. Digital Foundry already covered that, but damn, it looks pretty. Damn, it looks pretty. Then I think we're gonna, are we transitioning straight to gameplay, maybe? Straight to in-game? I don't think so, because this is still 30 FPS. I don't think so. And here we go. Here we go. Buckle up, buckaroos. For anybody not too familiar with this, maybe you didn't play Final Fantasy Remake. If you didn't do that, then you probably also didn't play Final Fantasy VII back in like the late 90s. And that's okay. That's not like a cardinal sin or an unforgivable sin. That's okay. I do want to welcome people to try this though, because I did not ever play the original game. It released the year I was born. It obviously was not that accessible to me as a result of that. And by the time I was like playing games, it was just like an old video game I heard people talk about, but I was like, why would I ever play that myself? The remake has introduced it to a whole new generation of gamers. And now Rebirth is like the next chapter of that remake. They're kind of pulling a Hobbit situation. Oh, how convenient. They lined up perfectly. But they're kind of pulling a Hobbit thing where they're taking one story and they're stretching it across 3 different full releases. And normally that would worry you, right? Like, okay, you're going to take one story and stretch it across 3 things. But in this case, it actually seems to be going quite well. They're releasing it across multiple releases, but it's actually working. And they're adding side content, they're adding world building elements, they're adding extra narrative, secondary characters are getting more fleshed out. And they're also changing the original story in some interesting ways. I'm not going to spoil anything. We're not going to go through like any big plot spoilers or anything in this video, but I have it on good authority that there are some pretty significant story beats that you would expect to see in this game that have been shifted or altered in interesting ways. Just like in the last game from 2020, the remake saw some pretty significant reworkings as well as it pertained to the story. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And here we are playing the game already. Now I'm running this on performance mode. I am no Digital Foundry and I won't pretend to be, so I'm not going to tell you any details of how this works, but it does look noticeably less than 4K, which is fine. You're playing on performance mode trying to get 60 frames, so that's okay. And it does seem to be less blurry around the edges of the character than in the demo when that first dropped. However, it's definitely not a very sharp performance mode. But then again, that's not really the reason you're playing this game. And of course, if you're really bothered by it, you can just turn on fidelity mode and go with a high resolution, but down at 30 frames. And we're fighting. Booyah kasha, booyah. Love it. Beautiful, gorgeous. Oh, camera's clipped into a door. Slide. You see the sword he's using? I think he's okay with you using lethal force. Oh God. Also, like, can you just imagine some madman comes at you with this sword? I'd be so scared. Like, it's horrifying. This thing could chop you in half. Easily. Probably weighs 100 pounds, like, for real. Aerith, my dear. Well done, good boy. Gotta pick one.
Where's the ancient? Heads are gonna roll if we don't find her.
For real, dude. You let the ancient get away. Oh, they didn't check their corners. Yep, classic. I saw somebody describe him as Wish.com Cloud, and I thought that was very funny. So now I'm sharing that with you. It's okay, Zach, you're totally different. So now we're going into sort of some backstory between Cloud and Sephiroth. If you played the demo, you'll be familiar with this. Of course, if you're familiar with the original game, you'll be familiar with all of this. So what I'm gonna do, just to avoid like going through the same motions all over again, is I'm gonna kind of skip around this chapter just a little bit, and we're gonna bounce forward, focusing on gameplay mostly, because again, this isn't really about revealing a lot of the story beats and things like that, in case you're on the fence of whether you want to try this or not. So we're going to focus on the stuff that could potentially pull you in and convince you to give this a shot. So the combat in these games is sort of a hybrid between turn-based and like live action. It's really, really interesting, but basically at the very start, you might think that it's just a button masher, but they're going to add in all sorts of different abilities and things that you can use in real time with your party. So it's a merge of, again, the real time and the turn-based abilities, launching certain like spells, basically using items and things on cooldowns. And it's a really interesting way of setting it up with a party, specifically because you can bounce between different party members using different abilities and swapping between them. It's super, super cool. Yeah, it's right here where you're seeing like a lot of the foliage and stuff. This is where like that performance mode, I think, is struggling the hardest, just because there's so many fine little details that you can spot. Granted, I'm playing this on a relatively large monitor, so it kind of exaggerates these problems for me, but you can definitely tell that this is performance mode versus if we go into the system options, graphics, and then swap it to graphics mode and back out instantaneously, way sharper, like crazy improved. So I mean, you'd expect it to be. You also sacrifice half your frames, basically. Whether you want to go performance or fidelity mode is up to you, of course. But to me, probably after recording this video, I'll probably be going through on graphics mode. It's that big of a difference, to me at least. But I know you guys out there in YouTube land like performance mode. You like the 60 frames, so we'll keep it there for the video. This doesn't end badly. This is fine. Big scary bridge that's moving a lot. This is fine. This is okay. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. There we go.
Are you okay?
Not really.
Also, can we just appreciate her outfit? She's like, I'm gonna go help a bunch of like soldiers, mercenaries, basically, like hardened warriors. And I'm gonna dress up like that. I love it. It's a bold choice. If I could get away wearing that outfit, I would too. I mean, let's be honest. It looks very freeing and comfortable. Now, I don't know about you guys, but one of the things I also love about these games are the boss encounters and stuff. And especially in the remake and in Rebirth, they are not slacking when it comes to big boss encounters and fights against scary, ghosty ghouly monstrous creatures. And this is one prime example. I'll just let you take this in case you haven't seen this yet.
What?
Oops.
Get back.
This way.
And just like that, we're in a boss fight. Isn't that great? I love it. And now we go. And here's where you can start to see like the cooperative gameplay really starting to take form, where Sephiroth might get some abilities, for example. This is where time kind of goes into a slow-mo form, and then you can pick which ability you want, or you can pop an item or whatever else you might want to use. In this case, if I use like this ability, I can swap back to Cloud while Sephiroth carries that action out. I can also swap mode to Punisher mode, which is more offensive, and I can use an ability specifically from Cloud, stabbing in there. But as you can see right now, we're not doing a whole lot. He just got grabbed. So what I can do is target that specific spot and try to break Cloud free and chop off the tail. Love it. And then Hell's Gate. Oh, there we go. There we go. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Popping around. Love it. Booyah. There you go. Okay. Is that not just kind of badass? Like, it's all fluid. They don't have to go to a cutscene. It's just fluid as part of the combat. I also appreciate that this is still technically part of the tutorial. You know, like They don't even need to bother too much with really easing it in. They just are like, yeah, let's do something crazy epic for that. Ooh. I need to stop thinking and just start doing. Then he falls. Let's get that slappy slap in. Staggered, love to see it. We're going to stack up some abilities. I'm also gonna do triple slash. And then as for Sephiroth, I'm also going to give him another follow-up here. And let's go spells. I'm gonna go fire on him. Burn. He does not like fire. We're doing great. Love it. Go team. We're hurting a little bit, so I'm going to cure my wounds and then have a boulder fall on me. No big deal. Everything's fine. Okay, turn the tables with a coordinated attack. Let's do it. Octa Slash. Booyah. I love when a game just releases and you get all the pop-ups of achievements and stuff. It's so satisfying. You're like, yeah, I did that. I did that. Okay, here's my limit. Now let's use this. little flex. Love it. Love it. And let's do some fire again. Yeah, do you have? Yeah, you do. Let's do fire. He does not like fire. There we go. Materia Guardian defeated. Oh, what a pal. What a pro. Now, if that seemed awesome, just remember that this game, by some accounts, people are saying is like 100. Some people are saying they're getting like 120, 130, 140 hours out of this part of the remake. And they're still finding new stuff. So if this seems awesome and badass, just remember there is a lot more where this came from. Technically, right now, we've only really done a good chunk of the demo. Like, we're not even really in the core game yet. And so I'm going to continue playing and getting through a lot of this, and I'll be back and I'll let you know what I think after putting a good bit more time in it over the course of this evening. So I'll see you on the other side. All last night I played the game, and I played a good bit this morning. I might have a problem. And don't worry, I'm not going to show any like later game spoilers. I've been saving as I've been going so I can pop around to areas that are a little more visually interesting. The first thing is you get to ride Big Bird. So that's cool. Also, some of the city environments in this game are just crazy. Like, it's not that easy for developers to create a world that you want to genuinely just explore and live in. It's actually quite difficult. Like, when was the last time you played a game where you want to just like live inside that world? Well, this is one such example where I'm like, man, not only is it like the architectural style with like the Tudor buildings next to the castle walls that gets me all giddy, but also just like the beautiful lighting, the mountainscapes in the background. It's all just beautiful and very, very well realized. There's also this, what I'm calling Breath of the Wild moment. This, I believe, was shown off in trailers and stuff before the game launched. But as you can see here, you open these doors and it's the first real look in this game for the player at the open world that you're going to be able to explore and run around in. And it's a very, very beautiful showcase of the lands beyond, the influence of Shinra. I mean, it's very beautiful, and the music.
Just
damn.
look at it all. It's so green. A living, breathing planet. Even after everything we've done to it, It's still going strong.
It may look that way, but in reality, it's barely hanging on.
Guess I still have a lot to learn.
What do you want to know?
Everything.
For starters, how do we cross these plains?
Come on now, that's easy. The same way you get anywhere. Pick a direction and start walking. Left, your left, right.
Awkward.
I guess we won't be coming back anytime soon.
Guess not. Let's go.
Time to run away. And then we transition into some actual exploration and the real beginning, I feel, of the game. Everything prior to this is kind of like a prologue. Might take you an hour and a half, 2 hours to get through, depending on what you're doing, maybe even longer. But from here, the game really starts to take off, and you get to just start doing what you really want to do, which is explore, participate in side activities, the main story. You continue leveling up and upgrading your equipment and stuff, growing in power. And I mean, as you can see at this point, the map is pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot here. So I don't think you're going to be getting bored anytime soon. And beyond that, there's a vast story to be explored and enjoyed as you go through it. It's just a massive, massive game. And I'm here for it. Now, I feel like I have to address the elephant in the room, specifically if you're watching this video on a large display, a TV or something like that, especially if you have the little gear icon down in the bottom of the video player selected at 4K. If you do that, you're going to start to see something pretty clear, and that's just that the performance mode for this game is probably, to me, the weakest I've seen recently. Not only is there a good amount of ghosting on characters, if you look around Cloud's head as we move, or like the sword's hilt, you can also see ghosting and different effects from the like upscaling techniques that they're using. And just in general, it's rendering at a significantly lower resolution than we typically even see in performance modes. So I was hoping that it would continue to get better, and maybe just those opening hours were a little rough, but it's quite blurry. If you're playing on a smaller screen, it really doesn't matter that much, but if you're going to be playing this on like a bigger TV on your PS5, I could see that being a frustration, and it might even push you into playing on like a quality mode or something like that, and just stomaching the lower frame rate. Beyond that, frame rates are really, really consistent and solid. I haven't really had any problems there as I've continued to play. Even like an hour or two after this, there are a couple of big boss fights that really push the limits of what you would think your PS5 can do, and it is able to hold it just fine, doesn't really struggle that much. So I'm happy to report that. The music, as always, is stellar and just fantastic. This is one of those games where it's really easy to just turn everything off and take it in slowly, which is, that sounded so sexual. I'm so sorry. That sounded really sexual. It's okay, I'm 12 years old. What I meant to say was that it's really easy when you play this game to just turn off all distractions, turn off a TV show you have in the background, or even a Luke Stevens video or a Luke Stevens live stream clip, and just play. And that, to me, is something that not many games are able to achieve. I am what I call like a Netflix gamer, or a Family Guy gamer, or South Park gamer. I like to play big games with a lot of adventuring, usually with some other distracting content on the side, just because I have that ADHD brain and I need constant distractions because I'm basically a child. And it's relatively rare for a game to hook me to the point where I can just turn my brain off and just enjoy it purely as it is. And in this case, this is one such game. Others that have done it for me are like The Witcher 3 or Red Dead Redemption 2, or Red Dead 1 for that matter, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom like games. I mean, all of those adventure games that have phenomenal narratives and then also fantastically well-designed worlds. I find quite compelling. And in this case, I think the world design is interesting. I haven't really dug into it or pulled out my spreadsheets yet to really test it. If you're interested in me doing that like I did with Hogwarts Legacy or some of those other big games, let me know in the comments and I'm happy to do that. But I think what really carries this game across the finish line is not just the presentation, but also the pairing of the presentation with the narrative and the music. The music does a lot of heavy lifting here, and it's just beautiful. Like the swells as you crest over mountaintops and vistas, it's just fantastically well done. But you see, this is another instance of that ghosting when Cloud and Aerith cross in front of the tree. Specifically, you'll see some ghosting as they move. It's minimal, it's not that big of a deal, but again, once you see it, it's really hard to unsee it. And on a bigger screen, it just stands out like a sore thumb, unfortunately. I know Digital Foundry was saying that they were hoping to get like an update or patch to add in like per pixel motion blur on camera movement. That might make it appear a little smoother when you're running on quality mode. I think something like that could help smooth out the edges and things. But as of right now, it's just, I think, an honest question as to whether you're able to tolerate the lower resolution or if you want to sacrifice those frames for significantly sharper images and presentation. And like I was saying last night, or I guess earlier in this video when you're seeing this, my favorite thing about the game so far is just how epic it is in scope and scale, and also how whenever you round a corner, there's the possibility of you encountering some huge monstrosity that you get to fight and take on, which is, I just love it. Like the idea that you're never safe at any moment, something crazy could happen, such as right now, something crazy could happen. Almost like maybe I made a save file for, for this very moment to show you this because it's badass. Look at this. Uh-oh. And they're gone. Like, no, we're basically chickens. We're not hanging out here. We're just exploring, granted, a pretty spoopy swamp, but we just encountered this thing, and this is just casually like another boss fight that we get to enjoy. I'm really good at dodging, as you can tell. And you know, they don't have to do anything beyond this to keep me engaged personally. I'm here for it. I love this. And I mean, it's not for the faint of heart. It can get quite difficult if you want it to be. I mean, there's a lot here, and you can't sleep on it. You know, you might initially think that this is like a button masher. It very much is not. Very much is not. Oh God. Okay, I had that coming. Jeez. This is what I get for trying to talk and do this at the same time. I think let's do Firework Blade. Look at this.
Try using it.
Woo! Oh, she dropped. that worked. Awesome. Love that. Okay, you want to see something awesome? Hold on, just a second. you gotta wait just a minute. Then I'll show you something awesome. Oh God, maybe not. Oh God. I'm trying to do something cool. Okay, here. Look at this summon. Look at this. Look at this. This is cool. Oh my God. He's so cute. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Oh, nice. Good job, fam. Good job, fam.
Just wish.
And she drops. Well, I tried, fam. I tried. But it's almost like when you are rambling semi-incoherently while trying to take on a boss fight, it becomes somewhat harder. Anyway, this game has a ton to offer. It's vast, it's beautiful, it is difficult if you're looking for that. It has a lot of depth with the party customization and the different RPG mechanics at play there. There's just so much here. I can see why it's reviewed so freaking well, and I can't wait to continue playing it and hopefully finish it relatively soon and then start digging deep into how it works and start tinkering with it, because that's one of my favorite things with these new open world games or new games focused on adventure is poking and prodding and seeing just how they got the magic working under the hood. Let me know, are you going to be playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth? Is this something that piques your interest? Did you play Final Fantasy VII Remake or maybe the original? Let me know. I've always been curious if my audience is interested in these types of games because I like them, I enjoy them, but I've never really made a bunch of videos on them because in the past I haven't seen a whole lot of engagement, but maybe that's changing and maybe now you are gonna tell me like, hell yeah, let's talk about these games, cover them in detail. Show me how the world works, Luke. But okay, fam, I'm gonna call it there and keep playing off camera. So let me know what you think of all of this. Let me know if you're gonna be trying it. And as always, subscribe because something like 60% of you guys that watch these videos are not subscribed, which is crazy. So let's fix that. But okay, that's actually gonna do it. I'm bad at outros. Thanks for watching. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one. Hugs and kisses.